right now on 5 on your side at 10.
A first draft that will affect 1 million local Catholics. The Archdiocese of St. Louis is planning to restructure. Tonight, details of the proposal and who can see it.
Heating up, humidity on the rise. I'll time out the best chances to see some rain.
But first tonight, one mistake, a 2-year-old lost.
All we can think is that when the fire started, he got scared and ran to hide.
How firefighters think the toddler started the fire that killed him.
A boy rescued from a fluorescent fire has died. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred. Mike Bush has the night off. Our Laura Barcheski explains what sparked that tragic fire. Laura?
And the family tells me the fire likely started when the 2-year-old Elijah put a set of car keys in the microwave when his parents were out of the room. This is what's left of the Martinez family home on Loki's Drive after a fire overwhelmed their house Wednesday morning.
When they arrived, they found a house that was on fire with reports of a victim inside.
Florissant Valley Fire Protection Chief Jason Hovelman says they had multiple crews working on the fire and searching for the missing child.
They did find him in a bathroom vanity, which is unfortunate. It didn't slow down the search a whole lot because the house was small. Luckily, we had a lot of crews in there.
Chief Hovelman says EMS crews rushed the little boy to the hospital, but he didn't make it. The family of 7 lost their 2-year-old son, Elijah, and family puppy, Sam.
He was a little wild man. He loved to get into everything, and as little boys do.
And that morning, the family says Elijah put his dad's keys, phone, and wallet in the microwave, sparking the fire.
All we can think is that when the fire started, he got scared and ran to hide, and he ran to the bathroom.
Cousin Kara Paymaster says while they mourn the loss of their babies, they also lost everything else.
I mean, they ran out of the house in their pajamas and no shoes. My poor cousin, he's been walking around barefoot all day running errands because he wears a size 13 and nobody can find him shoes.
Paymaster says she wants to remind other families of the important lesson not to put things in the microwave, even though Elijah may have been too young to fully understand.
Hug your families and community is important.
Chief Hovelman says it's also a good idea to talk with your family about fire escape plans.
It's still just a lesson to make sure we message with our kids to not hide, but that's a young age and it's a really hard thing to get through and to remember when they're scared, and it's just a tragic event.
Family members set up a GoFundMe to help them, but there are also some immediate needs like clothes and mattresses. We'll have a link and contact information on ksdk.com if you'd like to help. Ann.
Thank you, Laura. A live look at the Arch right now. Some scattered storms popped up a few hours ago, not too long ago. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott, and you had that pretty significant line of thunderstorms when we did the 6 o'clock news.
Right.
And it got kind of hairy.
Yeah, it sure did. In fact, that line moved right into the St. Louis area, and St. Charles had some tree limbs down and also some street flooding. Right now it is clear, so things are looking good there. Lambert is good right now, but let's take a look at that time lapse all the way through the evening hours. Watch this as you see the storm approach. Look at that downpour. Almost 1/4 inch of rain in just a few minutes. And of course, some very strong wind gust and some tree limbs in a couple of spots coming down. But right now, the Doppler weather radar is showing a few cells right around Richwoods and also Waterloo in Illinois, but not much. We widen out this shot and you can really see things calming down quite a bit. There are some better rain chances coming in our future, and I'll time them out for you coming up in just a bit, Ann.
Tonight, plenty of people packed a debate to hear from the 2 candidates who want to become the next president of the St. Louis Board of Aldermen. Our Robert Townsend was there and joins us now live from City Hall. Robert.
Hey there, Ann. The debate ended 2 hours ago. The aldermanic president candidates got quite an earful. Let me tell you, they heard from people who didn't hold back, sharing their concerns. They packed the auditorium at the St. Louis Carpenter Branch Library in South City. Several dozen citizens wrote their concerns down on index cards for 7th Ward Alderman Jack Coulter and 15th Ward Alderwoman Megan Aaliyah Green. Both are vying for the president of the Board of Aldermen position.
I want to see what you plan on doing, what you're actually going to do. I'm frustrated that the progress of this neighborhood is at risk.
Rebecca Keene and other homeowners in Tower Grove South told Green and Coulter they're tired of seeing gun violence, vandalism, and car break-ins ruining their neighborhood and not seeing enough police patrolling their streets.
My wife's lug nuts were stolen off of her car. Only left 2 lug nuts.
The frustrated residents also say trash, old mattresses, and other dirty, bulky items keep piling up in their alleys because city crews are not routinely picking up the mess. And they want to know what will happen to the nearby former Fanning Middle School that's been vacant for more than a year.
And we need to get back to the basics. We need city services that we pay for. They need to be consistent. And we need to feel safe in our own city.
Both Green and Coulter promised if elected, residents' pleas won't fall on deaf ears.
I'm not going to claim you can fix every problem in the city as president of the Board of Aldermen, but it's about priorities.
We need to have government that works together, that knows how to collaborate so we can get business done for residents in the city.
Now, Green and Coulter say they hope to have another debate before the November 8th election. Right now, no date is set. We're live outside City Hall. Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
A former Bellefontaine Neighbors police officer turned himself in to St. Louis County Police today. Brian Rayford is charged with involuntary manslaughter. He hit and killed Moline Acres Police Sergeant Herschel Turner during a police pursuit in 2020. Investigators say Rayford was chasing a car at speeds up to 85 miles an hour at the time. Rayford's attorney calls it a tragic accident and says Rayford did not violate the department's pursuit policy. Tonight, a former Maryland Heights police officer is headed to prison for child pornography. A federal judge sentenced 30-year-old Nicholas Hagloff today to 4 years in prison. He's also ordered to pay a total of $20,000 in damages for his victims. Hagloff pleaded guilty in May and admitted to viewing hundreds of illegal images on his laptop and cell phone. Tonight, police are looking for the smash-and-grab thieves who hit a medical marijuana dispensary in South City. It happened around 4 o'clock this morning at Luxury Leaf. That's off South Van Deventer. Police say someone backed a car into the entrance to try to get in. A nearby business owner saw it and drove toward the suspect's car, and that's when the suspects started firing a gun. Another car drove into them. No one was hurt. This is a trend we're seeing at marijuana dispensaries across the St. Louis region. Today, Greenlight Dispensary placed concrete barriers in front of the store to stop crooks from crashing through the door. That store has been hit 4 times just this month.
We want people to feel safe to shop in Missouri. The whole reason of having stores is a safe place for them to go. And all they're doing is disrupting business and making us sweep up glass till 2 in the morning until we can open the next day for our patients.
If you have information on these crimes, call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Remember, you can remain anonymous. Tomorrow, FEMA is opening another disaster recovery center for victims of last month's flooding. It will be located at Centennial Commons in University City. The center will be open 7 days a week from 8 until 7. Centers remain open in St. Louis City, Hazelwood, and St. Charles. The Archdiocese of St. Louis is in the midst of restructuring. For the last 8 months, staff has been collecting data and feedback. And now the first draft proposal of how the Archdiocese will reinvent itself is complete. It's a story you'll see first on 5 on your side.
The Archdiocese restructuring process is called All Things New. It will bring hard changes like school closures and parish mergers, but it will also bring welcome changes like higher teacher salaries and more affordable tuition. The first draft addresses only parishes. A draft proposal on how to restructure schools won't be ready until next year. The current draft groups together which parishes should collaborate and which should possibly merge. So far, the proposal has only been shown to priests. The reason? Priests know their parish community intimately, and the Archdiocese wants them to weigh in.
We have 30 pages of written feedback, plus on a daily basis I'm getting phone calls and more emails from the priest.
The draft will be adjusted based on priest feedback. From there, in September and October, the revised draft will be presented to priests and what are called key parish leaders, which are about 1,000 parishioners from around the Archdiocese. Then it's time for St. Louis's almost 1 million Catholics to provide input. The Archdiocese will host at least 2 listening sessions at every parish between October 8th and November 17th.
If you're a Catholic in St. Louis, you've probably already heard some rumors about how this final plan will play out. I asked the head of All Things New about all the hearsay, and he said it is all false.
There are no plans that have been decided on. I think where the anxiety comes from is that people look around and I think they recognize the struggles that we're facing as a church themselves. So if I'm at a church that's only 20% full on Sunday, if I'm at a school that I know is financially struggling and is half full, and all of a sudden we start talking about vibrancy as a church, I think people just start to get nervous and they start to draw their own conclusions.
As far as a plan for what happens to the Archdiocesan schools, that will be announced when the entire final restructuring plan is revealed in May of 2023. There is no plan for listening sessions regarding the school plan right now. The school changes will be made in time for the 2023-2024 school year. Other changes will take up to 3 years to implement. More fallout tonight over President Biden's plan to forgive billions of dollars in student loan debt. It gives a $20,000 break to Pell Grant recipients and $10,000 in relief to federal loan borrowers, making less than $125,000 a year. Opponents say it unfairly benefits Americans who chose to go to college. We took the debate to the candidates for Missouri's 2nd Congressional District. That is home to more college graduates than any other district in the state.
Yeah, we've got to teach our children to pay their debts, to be good, upstanding, productive, independent Americans, and we're teaching them quite the opposite, that they can be on the government dole. So I think it's wrong on multiple levels.
Well, we got rid of debt for corporations, PPE loans, those sorts of things, so we decided we were going to commit to companies and corporations. I think we need to commit to our people.
To find out if you are eligible and what you need to do to get that money, text the word loan to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link.
Going old school, the Missouri District bringing back the paddle in the principal's office. Too many students, not enough teachers.
It's a supply and demand issue. We don't have enough of what we need.
The solution in St. Louis that's paying teachers more without raising your taxes.
Seeing some rain tonight, plus some temperatures and humidity on the rise. I'll let you know when the storm chances actually increase in the 10-day.
We are just hours away from seeing the affidavit used to obtain a search warrant of President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. A federal judge has ordered it to be released to the public by noon tomorrow. But we will not see everything. The Justice Department has been allowed to conceal information on the investigation and grand jury. Agents seized 11 sets of alleged mishandled classified documents. Schools around the country are grappling with shortages of teachers. Many consider it to be one of the most important jobs. The I-Team's Paula Vassan takes us inside Patrick Henry Elementary School in Carr Square to explain how schools are dealing with a problem that seems to be getting worse.
Like so many schools across Missouri and across the country, Patrick Henry Elementary is dealing with a crisis, a shortage of teachers. It's part of St. Louis Public Schools, a district struggling to fill 113 teaching jobs, or about 7% of its staff. Sherry Bailey is part of the solution.
The teacher residency program allows us to be in the classroom and take college courses at the same time.
She's enrolled in a new program that's allowed her to expand her skills as a substitute teacher.
I was sort of backfilling teacher vacancies as they were absent.
To become a full-time teacher for kids with special needs.
Now I'm able to lead and not just follow. I can create a lesson plan. I can bring that energy to the classroom.
Do you get paid more now?
Yes, I do, and that's the best part of it all.
More pay is one way state officials are working to address recruitment and retention challenges that have led to thousands of open teaching positions. The biggest shortfalls are in elementary and special education.
It's a supply and demand issue. We don't have enough of what we need.
Dr. Paul Katnick is with the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. He's seen enrollment in teacher education programs drop by a quarter over the past 6 years.
So that means less people are preparing to be teachers.
State education officials are working to reverse that troubling trend. Just last year, they created teachmo.org, a new website to make applying to become a teacher easier. They've invested about $55 million in teacher recruitment and retention grants. New grants have also boosted teacher pay in areas of the state where annual salaries are lower than $38,000.
I think it's a very good start. It's a very good start, yes.
This St. Louis native calls those steps critical in allowing her to pursue a profession she's always dreamed of.
What's the best part of being a teacher?
So I feel like I am making a difference. They're learning, they're engaged, and their parents are engaged as well.
The State Board of Education recently formed a commission of educators with a unified goal, getting more people to become teachers and stay teachers. In October, leaders from that commission will outline recommendations to the state. Back to you.
One Missouri school district is bringing back an old school discipline method. Principals in Cassville schools can now paddle or spank students. The district in Southwest Missouri says corporal punishment gives them one more disciplinary option. School officials say it's a last resort and not every student is subject to it.
It's something that we don't anticipate using frequently. This is an opt-in only option for parents. So anyone who disagrees with corporal punishment, they simply do nothing by not opting in.
Missouri is one of 19 states that still allows corporal punishment. Today in St. Louis is going back to school tomorrow. Rennie Knott, Michelle Lee will anchor live from Rittner High School. The Huskies are holding an early morning pep rally. They'll kick off their football season tomorrow night against their Rock Road rivals, the Pattonville Pirates. Today in St. Louis begins at 4 a.m. That live coverage at the pep rally from Rittner kicks off at 5. And let's get to meteorologist Jim Castillo. You said we are tracking more rain.
Yes.
What about tomorrow morning when they're all out there doing the show?
They're fine.
Good.
Yeah, they're fine. So we had the storms tonight because the front was moving through, and really the severe cells went right over St. Louis County and even St. Charles all the way into the Sunset Hills area. Again, a couple tree limbs down around St. Charles, and then we also had some power outages around Maryland Heights. But 91 was that high today, and with that high heat and humidity, that front, very weak front, it took just a little bit of lift to get those severe storms going. And again, we weren't expecting this severe weather, and it didn't last too long at all. But 75 degrees right now, and the humidity is 79%, dew point 68, west wind at 3. So the front's coming through here now. The storm activity has really died down. In fact, it's almost nil, and I'll show you that coming up in just a second. Lambert earlier, almost a quarter of an inch of rain at 75 degrees there now. And you can see on the radar, Richwoods was the last thunderstorm cell that I could find on here, and it did not go severe there. It was only St. Louis County, a little slither right there of St. Charles County, and then right through West St. Louis and South St. Louis County. And then all of the activities seem to die down quite a bit. So later on tonight and for tomorrow morning for Tissel, we are dry. Maybe some areas of fog with the wet ground. If you saw that tonight, a lot of us stay dry. And then overnight lows expected to be in the 60s. And of course, highs tomorrow near 90, but a little bit cooler than today, and maybe not as quite as humid, but plenty of sunshine. Now on Saturday, this cold front that is moving through now comes back as a warm front, so that hotter, more humid air comes our way. So lower 90s as we head into Saturday's forecast, but it should stay dry. Clouds on the increase. Sunday, most of Sunday's dry, but a late day shower or storm is possible. And then as we head into Monday, it does look stormy from time to time. Rain, some of that could be heavy, and it looks like 88 for that high, maybe a little bit cooler with all that rain around. And of course, tonight, we're clearing up. 69 degrees for that low in St. Louis, maybe a little bit cooler outside of the city, but still very humid. Patchy morning fog tomorrow, otherwise mostly sunny and about 89. 91 Saturday, we're dry. Sunday, mostly dry, 92. A late day shower or storm. And then it does look rainy to begin next week.
I'll take that weekend.
Yeah, doesn't look too bad.
All right, Jim, thank you. Frank's here to tell us what's coming up in sports.
Well, and you won't believe this save by a SLU goaltender tonight. What could Paul Goldschmidt have in common with Ducky Medwick? And Dan Deerdorf has some thoughts on name, image, and likeness. Stick around, please.
If you have a tip for the 5 on Your Side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
All you really need to know about the greatness of Goldschmidt is this. No human being has won the Triple Crown in the National League since Joe Medwick in 1937. He's trying to end the drought. Corey Dickerson was pretty good in Chicago, too. An RBI base hit in the first. He had 3 more hits today. It was a stretch of 10 straight hits, which has been done 11 times since 1961. Cardinals led the Cubs 3-0 after 1. Dakota Hudson really needed to have a good game, and he did. 7 innings, 5 hits, 4 Ks, and 2 runs allowed. Goldie had a magnificent game. He blasted 2 homers, had 3 hits, 5 RBIs. He's taken over the RBI lead with 105. He leads in batting average at .339, and his 33 homers are just 1 behind Kyle Schwarber. So not only are we looking at the MVP, but maybe a Triple Crown winner too. Cards win 8-3. They lead the Brewers by 6 games now. Hey, look at this crowd tonight at Hermann Stadium for SLU women's soccer. Big bad Notre Dame came to town. Neither school had given up a goal in their first 2 games, and they won't here. Save of the night will slow it down. Emily Percelli takes one in the face, but makes the save and then gets up because she's a tough soccer player. Weather halted the game. Right now, Notre Dame leads it 1-0 late in the second half. Name, image, and likeness have become the 3 most important words in college sports. There's a story out that USC quarterback Caleb Williams could make $5 million this season, a college kid. Each SMU football player and men's basketball player will make $36 grand. 2 Texas A&M football players will make $10 grand per interview with a website. Hooters signed 51 linemen to NIL deals. I asked the Hall of Famer Dan Dierdorf if he would be making 30 grand if he were in college.
All I can go by is when Ryan Day, the head coach at Ohio State, was talking to his donors about how much money he needed to keep this team together and what they were going to have to come up with in NIL money. He said $2 million for the quarterback and $1 million for the left tackle. So Frank, don't sell me cheap for $30,000. It nauseates me. The kids deserve something, but with it being as completely unregulated as it is, I'm afraid I won't recognize college football 5 years from now.
You will recognize our high school football coverage this year. Our Friday night show, 5 on Your Sideline, will again be bringing you the best highlights in town. It starts tomorrow at 10:15. Now, after losing just 4 games in the last 2 seasons combined, the Fort Zumwalt North football team is preparing to open their season tomorrow against another top area team in Francis Howell. The Panthers graduated players like Mizzou offensive lineman Nate Lunn, but are finding confidence in strong team chemistry. Head coach Joe Bacon says the team strategy is developing character off the field.
We talk a lot about Zumwalt North football being bigger than the board, and that's the scoreboard. So obviously we want to win every single Friday, but if we're not becoming the right kind of people and getting them ready for life, it's really not worth it. And so I think this group really buys into that. And I mean, we sure want to win every Friday night, but they also understand that there's something bigger than just the game that's going on. So yeah, they've really rallied around that, and we're excited about that.
And be with us Sunday night for our Sports Plus show at 10:30. It's a college football spectacular. We profile the pride of CBC, Brett Gabbert, who's having a wonderful career at Miami of Ohio. We go one-on-one with Hall of Famer Gary Pinkel, and we chat with Illinois coach Brett Bielema. That's Sunday night at 10:30. And back to you.
Frank, thank you. Blues fans have to wait several more weeks for the note to return to the ice, but they have just hours to wait to get their hands on game tickets. Join us Labor Day weekend for the MDA Show of Strength Telethon. We'll be live from Grants Farm Sunday, September 4th from 8 to 10 p.m. You can watch it live on 5 on Your Side or on KSK.com. You can also watch it on 5 Plus to your Roku or Fire TV. All the money raised during the telethon goes to people with neuromuscular diseases right here in the St. Louis area. Let's go Blues! Single game tickets go on sale tomorrow morning. The Blues will open the season at home on October 15th against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Both preseason and regular season tickets will go on sale 10 a.m. Ticketmaster's website. Put the alarm in your calendar. Some sour grapes for winemakers. They're left scrambling after supply chain issues have led to shortages of oak barrels and bottles. Ooh. Shipping costs have increased 300%. This comes as the grape harvest gets underway. Oh my goodness. Not sure if anyone wished for an Oscar Mayer Wiener popsicle, but that is a real thing now. The Oscar Mayer cold dog tastes like a hot dog, even has a mustard swirl. The cold dogs are $2 each. Too bad, though, guys, not being sold in the St. Louis area.
Good.
Yeah.
Although I know some friends that would like it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Go ahead.
Okay. I can tell it's your Friday. You're so ready for the weekend.
No, I just have nothing to say about like some weird hot dog popsicle.
Yeah, I get you. So, hey, the rain is over with for the night, unless there's a spotty shower out there, but no more big storms until we get to late Sunday night into Monday. We'll watch then, but it doesn't look like a giant severe weather event. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 89, 91 on Saturday, mainly dry. Sunday, mainly dry, but a late day storm, and 92.
That is all for 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Steve Carell is Jimmy's guest. And then start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. They'll be live from Rittner. Have a great Friday.